Abusa nyoma na Reverend Owusubempah face no. Ekame ye say asofo form mo Ghana ase no. Omobo ndwoso. Yes, because Reverend Owusubempah bompa ye de ma John Dramani Mahama. Ama a lot of Ghanaians in especially NPP for Babontin e be try e de bon. Na many muka say there Duncan Williams ababontini abere take kana adwene ache na nado danko kufuado e de Bawumia de nso e de amano. Na nsem ben e na omo kan ye beko honom. Second story esade mamo e warning na John Dramani Mahama ede ama eye na nadonko kufuado ene Bawumia woche mu se sa ne mo no mo ye nyina nye se wo hu yi wo hu na ne omombre beso omombre na ebeso ene se obe arrest wo mu a prosecute wo mu we ensem a John Dramani Mahama e kan ye ne enko nsem ni mum. First story no say Reverend Owusubempah a face a lot of trouble che say wa face a lot of tragedy wa be obompa ye edema John Dramani Mahama every MPP for nsa no na me no ka say de Duncan Williams ababonte a wo chemu say na o na o de Reverend Owusubempah e face no wona de e bi ntimi mfa na fechire se bi fa na fechire pa de a and on MPP for na say MPP for ono be chi ama MPP for ayam we ensem a Duncan Williams e babonte ne ebe kan wo chemu say wono ntena se Emma Ghana for especially MPP for emfa ono ene ne fie enim entwitwi fom anso ono ma okasa wie no no to aso ka say so bompa for better change na say Ghana for entiasia na say MPP for entiasia na say ombe react na say omedi na tema ene ya temo betima aka ne say nana Danko Kufuado ene Bawumia empe Ghana yi we ensema Duncan Williams e ba bontene ebe kan ye.
Then I saw when President Rawlings came 79 and 81. I saw when Hilal Liman came, that thing they planned, that whole election, part of it took place in my father's house with Big Graf Johnson, Imoru, Igala, and others. It happened in my father's house. My father was CPP. And I saw when Hilal Liman came. And I saw when President Kufuor came. And I've seen Tamils, I've seen things happen. Most elections, I will be attacked for whatever reason. And the only reason why they attack me is because I pray for this nation. That's all. That's the only reason. Why are you against me? Why are you angry with me if you love this country? And if you care about the good of this country, why are you angry with me? If you don't have mischief and evil and wickedness in your heart, that you care more about your party than this country, why are you upset with me? Why are you angry with me? What have I done to you? 2016, they did the same thing to me. 2008, 2012, same thing, they did it to me. One of the situations, I have to go and confront the president. In those days, one of the presidents, I confronted him. Because somebody has gone to lie about me to him. And I said, Mr. President, why are you doing this? And he said, I'm sorry, I was told this, that. And I said, if you were told that I'm praying for the opposition, did I not pray for you when you were in opposition? Mr. President, you used to come here, I prayed for you when you were in opposition. So why do you have a problem with me that I'm praying for the opposition? What is all these selfish things about? And 2016, I was attacked. I won't mention names. 2020, same thing. Because I took a stand for my country. And this election too, it's the same thing they are doing. But this time around, they will not go unpunished. This time around, let the sword of the vengeance of God visit them in their dwellings. Yes. Hear me? I will not be a scapegoat. Me and my house will not be a scapegoat. This church will not be a scapegoat. And this I declare by divine authority. Yes. And I call on heaven and earth to take record and to write this day that me and my house and this house, we will not be a scapegoat by the scheming of any political party or politicians. If you slap the left, give the right, I won't let you even touch the left. I will block you from reaching the left. And the right, you won't even come close. Because you don't understand that scripture.
Send them can stories name you no second story no John Dramani Mahama so kopi mu afahye bia se na wo kasa na wo chemu say nyoma na e koso na Ghana for e face nyoma na Nana Danko Kufuado ene Bawumia de Ghana e face no corruption na e koso e wo eye this administration yes wo hu ye wo hu ni nyina but o tamu chuku se Ghana for e beto aba no e de ama no no munya to aba de man say Kim obe prosecute nana donko kufuado de Bawumia eka ho obetwa mmienu nyina abegyina mmranim ama mo akyerɛkyerɛm bebi a sika no faaye msenkyerɛkyerɛmu no anso nani abusua John Dramani Mahama say obe prosecute wo mo we nsema John Dramani Mahama eka ahase malikbasintale TV so when the first number channel so bo mo subscribe if my share no benya video ni bi enhwe
that he was going to raise the funding. Nobody stops you from raising the funding, going around la la sulala and raising the money to do it. But you do not have the authority to commit taxpayers' money to what you have personally promised God that you're going to do for him. And the point is, we are different religious backgrounds in this country, and all of us pay taxes. Muslims pay taxes, Christians pay taxes. Those who believe in African tradition, they also pay taxes. And so you cannot, out of your own discretion, decide that you want to use the taxpayers' money for that particular project. The Muslims built their national mosque. They went to Turkey and got a foundation, raised the funds from Turkey to build it. And I'm sure that there are many Christian foundations that could have helped to build this cathedral if the president had approached them. But they used $58 million of taxpayers' money to inject in what Assad now is a pit filled with water and mosquitoes. Recently, some people went for a swimming contest in that pit. I don't know how healthy the water there is, but Ghanaians want to know how that happened. We also want to know how 25 billion that was expended for COVID-19 expenditure was used. The Auditor General says only 40% of that money was used for COVID-related activity. The rest of the 60%, what happened to it? What was it used for? We want to know. For instance, we know that $30 million was paid in advance for vaccines or something, which were never delivered. And so we want to know who took that money and why those vaccines were not delivered. The other contracts that were given without tender, no resort to the procurement process. It was like they were just distributing it to friends and family. You go and supply this, you go and supply this. And people have taken our money and misused it without living up to expectations. So we want to know about that. There are many others. PDS scandal. Americans withdrew $190 million because the people who were selected as front people for the president's family, they started quarreling with the people who they had used as their fronts. And there's an audio recording of them talking about how the shares should be transferred and all that. That audio recording has never been investigated. The voices on the audio are known. Nobody has called them to question them. How come you were, discussing shares in a company that you are not part of? And that led to the collapse of PDS. How was the bank guarantee changed into an insurance guarantee in the vice president's office when the condition was that it should be a bank guarantee? And then it was changed to an insurance guarantee in the office of the vice president. And they went and got a fake Qatar insurance guarantee. All those things, Ghanaians want to know what happened. We want to know about SML, where the spare parts for ambulances are more expensive than the ambulances themselves. I mean, how can that happen? That you buy spare parts that are more expensive than the ambulance themselves. We want to know about the 13th African Games, because the figures you hear are mind-boggling. Feeding fees of $15 million, to feed athletes and officials. I wonder how in 3 weeks officials and athletes could consume $15 million. They must have been eating the whole time instead of doing sporting activities. And so Ghanaians want to know. $2 million of our money was paid for a sky train that vanished. Nothing happened. We heard they were bringing trains that will fly in the sky. The flying trains never came. And our $2 million too has never come back. We want to know what happened. $12 million was paid as mobilization to a contractor for Palugu multipurpose dam. The site is infested by reptiles and lizards and cockroaches, and $12 million of our money has vanished into thin air. Match sets, which should have cost a certain figure, were inflated about 5 times. And these are mass sets you could buy in the market very cheap. The same mass sets were procured at 5 times the price. And Ghanaians want to know about that. We want to know about the missing excavators. We want to know about the SADA tricycles that were taken and distributed amongst political family and friends. We want to look at the bus scandal. There are so many scandals. If I continue listening, then we'll stay here till evening.